set up the right way. And welcome to my channel. And thank you for joining me on this live stream of Shenmue episode 10. Now we've got a lot to go, but we've done a lot too in these previous 9 episodes. So thank you if you're joining me for episode 10. This is super exciting. Now, every time I do this stream, I always mention my experience with using Twitch and how that's going. And lately, the new thing that I learned from Twitch right now is like raids. That's one thing that I learned is like a raid is when you have a bunch of people in your chat and you just want to move that group to another channel. Like, let's say I liked another channel and I wanted everyone who wanted to still be on here to just kind of follow me to another channel when I'm stopping a stream. You could kind of set up a raid, and there's like a button there that says raid channel, and then you could just boom, have everyone just move over to another streamer's channel, which is super awesome. I like that ability. And then what else did I learn on this? I learned that you can actually group the videos into like different episodes or different types of streams, and that's something that I wanted to just kind of like figure out too, because all these Shenmue streams I want to group into like each game, and then of course once I start streaming other content I want to group those as well. And it's pretty cool that Twitch has the ability to do that. But it's been a while since I streamed. I haven't streamed since last week on Wednesday, and where I had an almost hour and a half to 2 hour stream on Shenmue because I didn't stream on Thanksgiving. So thank you for joining me. And definitely, if you love Shenmue content, love the story, love the streams, I would also recommend that you check out Corey Marshall's streams. He does Mondays and Fridays of Shenmue, and he's the original voice actor of Ryo Hazuki for the English version. So if you're curious and you want to see Ryo play as Ryo, definitely check out that stream. He's at twitch.tv/ Corey Marshall VoiceOver Pro. So that's awesome as well. And if you're watching the stream later on YouTube, then you can definitely follow me on Twitch so you can catch me live. I'm live Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. So that's important as well. Subscribe to me there if you're seeing that, or follow me on Twitch if you haven't done already, and vice versa. If you're seeing this on Twitch, then my channel on YouTube is Personal Magnus. If you love Shenmue content and other content, definitely go subscribe. And if you do, you might see my latest episode of Game Sales Guy, which is a character that I created who's like a game store clerk, and he's having some pretty wild adventures on that side, but definitely welcome. All right, now on to the main story. Shenmue. We're on episode 10. A lot has happened to the main protagonist, Ryo Hazuki. Now, if you're just joining me now for the first time, I'm about to catch you up on everything that's happened so that you can follow along with the story just like everyone else who's been keeping up. So, Ryo Hazuki, shortly after celebrating a good time with his friends, let's say, he comes home, he finds out his father's being murdered by a man named Lan Di. Lan Di is connected to the Chinese mafia, and he's out to get a mirror from Ryo Hazuki's father. He kills him, and he leaves with this mirror. And he also says that he killed somebody too. So Ryo was mad. Ryo went to investigate. He finds out this guy's Chinese. He finds out this guy is connected with sailors in the harbor. And he finds out that a gang known as the Mad Angels are connected to this guy who's probably leaving for Hong Kong. And you want to find out more information about what's going on. While working at the harbor, you find out from one of your pals at the harbor that apparently there's this mysterious trade that's about to happen, but you don't know anything about it. And you also find out that the Mad Angels are against one of your friends who you met at the harbor called Master Chen and his son Guisang. They're like enemies. So you just want to find out more information, and we're going to take it from there. Oh, and you beat up the Mad Angels a bunch of times when they ran into you. So, without further ado, let's get started with this story. And if anyone is having problems with the audio, whether it's too high or too low, let me know. I'll try to adjust it. But we're going to go from here, because I noticed that the last time I was playing this game, the audio was a little bit off. Oh, no, that's not Rio's watch. That's actually my timer to
ask around about the Mad Angels.
check my blood sugar. I'm diabetic, if you didn't know. And I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm all right with blood sugar levels. So last week we had a couple of excursions with the, or run-ins with the Mad Angels on this day, and we're out. It seems like the game wants to investigate a little bit more about what's going on with the Mad Angels. So let's walk around and see if you find anything else new. Now, I didn't think that there was anything else to uncover about the Mad Angels, at least from this day. I think that the game is just stalling, but I don't know. It's always helpful to ask random NPCs
Please, don't loiter here.
to see what they have to say. Now, the interesting part of this game, if you guys don't know this already, is that every character in this game is voiced over. Some are using the same voice and they're just repeating the same voice, but everyone is voiced over. Whereas this game is compared a lot with the Yakuza series. And then the Yakuza series, they're not voiced over. And that's what turned me off to the Yakuza series when Shenmue was on its 14-year hiatus. It's the fact that not all the characters were voiced in the Yakuza series. At least the first one, which I do have, the first Yakuza for PlayStation 2. And I was just so bummed out about it. Because playing Shenmue and the experience of actually knowing that they invested so much time and effort in this game was what actually sunk me in, and Yakuza didn't. It's still cool, don't get me wrong, it's a cool game, but I have problems getting hooked on it. Maybe I should play or stream after we're done with all the Shenmue games. I should stream a couple of the Yakuza games for the first time as a Shenmue fan. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. That would actually be pretty interesting for me. Now, I'm running around the docks, and last time we met up, which was last week, we ran into the Mad Angels near their base. Now, we already had our little run-in with them, so I'm imagining that if we go by to where the Mad Angels hang out, they won't be there at this point. Again, it just seems like the game is stalling me before it lets me go home to experience the next day in Shenmue. I'm actually in a good mood too right now because I had. Now, I'll backdate it a little bit. Now, this game, and I'll sync it what I'm about to say with Shenmue. Now, this game is very cultural, and when this game came out, a lot of the intent was to actually explore different cultures in this game. The fact that you get to experience Japan in the way that you do. Let me talk to him again, as I always talk to him. Have you seen the Mad Angels?
The Mad Angels? I've never seen them. I hear that they hang
I've
out
never
near the
seen
entrance
them.
of the harbor.
All right.
Oh, they hang out near the entrance of the harbor. Are you kidding me? The sign is right next to you. It's funny. So, this game, a lot of it was inspired, and Yu Suzuki was inspired by the Chinese culture and the things that he saw in China that he definitely wanted to incorporate in the game. And he had a lot of inspirations, but that's one of them, in the sense of, like, you know, really exploring different cultures. So us as, like me as for example, Dominican American, and many others around the world who probably weren't familiar with Eastern Asian culture, were probably thought it's a little bit different, at least the different cultural situations that you find in the game. So that's what I always thought interesting between China and between Japan, and like those interesting things. But I've always been one to actually be curious about different culture and wanting to know a little bit more about why they do the things we do, or we do, they do. For example, because I'm I consider myself not only bilingual because I speak Spanish fluently as well as English. Although my English sometimes I get broken up when I'm talking to you guys on the
I
stream.
should go home.
So I dealt with bicultures, like I said, because I spent a lot of time growing up, for a long time, going to Dominican Republic. And as an adult, I don't go to the resorts or anything like that. It's got beautiful resorts. If you haven't gone, you should definitely look up well, maybe at a better time, but definitely look up resorts in Dominican Republic. They are amazing. And I have gone to them too, but most of my life, and actually I tend to prefer going to my parents' neighborhood where they grew up, because they brought me there all the time, and they own a nice house down there. And my uncle, who sadly passed away a short time ago, bought a big house for my grandmother and for himself as well. He used to play professional baseball for the Yankees and the Blue Jays before he ended up retiring. And I think he played a short stint on the Braves as well. But to my point, living there or spending a lot of time there and spending a lot of time in the U.S., there's vast cultural differences. When it comes to the food they eat, when it comes to personalities, when it comes to way of life, when it comes to the fact that they're a lot more laid back than the area I'm in right now, which is close to New York City. All those cultural shifts. So then playing this game, which I had never really experienced Eastern Asian culture to the extent of what Shenmue showed me. It showed you, like, look, okay, you're in Japan this whole time, and in the sequel, Shenmue 2, you're in China. And there are stark differences with the way that people behave and treat the main character. That's just
Nozomi.
interesting.
Nozomi.
Shocking, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
What's
kind
wrong?
of the way they carry
It's just
themselves.
thinking
I'll have you
about
guys pay
something.
attention to the note
No
of this
call.
game. Everyone has their
Since we talked.
routine, and everyone works and
Anyway,
goes
we had a
home.
fight.
But if you notice, in this game,
Is your mom still over there?
every
she's
business
still in
that's
Vancouver.
out here
Do you
has
know
its
she
own, like,
worries so
storefront
much?
and whatever,
But
and
at
they've
least
got
she's
their
letting me
gates,
make
they
my own
close their
decision.
gates.
Kind of like
And
Ine-san.
okay,
Yeah.
I just interrupt that conversation, so I apologize with you. But they got their gates, they got their neighborhoods. When we get to Shenmue 2, I want you to notice the differences that happen in Hong Kong and how they run their businesses and how the people are there, because they're really different from these Japanese citizens that are familiar with Rio. Which is, again, just one of the highlights of the fact that Shenmue put a lot of thought, and actually Yu Suzuki put a lot of thought in Shenmue when it comes to these little nuances. It's not just the fact that you can touch everything, grab everything, taste a few things, such as, like, different types of soft drinks, but it's also the fact that it's the cultural touches that are tangible visually, like you can see them, but you really have to feel them when it comes to that extent. Thank you for all the new followers to my channel as well. I'm super excited that you decided to follow me, and it's total honor. And for all new subscribers as well to my YouTube channel, Personal Magnus, thank you guys as well. We're growing day by day, and I've got a lot more content there, so I would ask that you subscribe to there too. Looks like we didn't arrive home late, so Ine-san's not telling us, why are you here so late? Let's get in a little bit more training to the elbow assault. If you look, out of all the moves, I've only really been focusing on elbow assault. Elbow assault is my go-to move constantly. And yes, there are other moves, but I find that move to be so overpowering that I tend to always focus on that. Gotta follow any Shenmue streamers. Thank you for contributing to the Shenmue community. Follow everyone who contributes to this franchise, because that's an awesome experience for the community to have more members. So let's start the next day, because usually when I do these streams, we do it one day at a time, and we haven't even gotten any story elements out of the way. So go to sleep and see what happens next.
Whoa, gotta get going.
He's all ready for his next day of work. Alright, so the Mad Angels, like I said earlier, are making a deal with the Chiyu Men. That's the Chinese gang I was talking about earlier. If I follow them, they'll lead me to the Chiyu Men. So basically, continue on with the Mad Angels, see what's going on with them, and go from there. And I'm glad that you're trying to support every Shenmue piece of content that comes out. That's awesome. I think this community is one of the most giving, kindest communities I've ever been a part of. And that's why I focused my stream and even my YouTube channel a lot on Shenmue content. So here we go. Another day, another race. Now I've gotten the first, second, and third place trophies. So today I'm purposely going to come in 4th place because I want that 4th place prize. Because I want every prize that this game has to offer. So I'm purposely, we already got 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. So we're not looking to overdo it and get another one of those capsule toys. We just want 4th place. So I'm purposely going to trail behind the 3rd place racer and not do that well. Just so that we can, again, accomplish that. I'm not trying to win this race. We already did it. We want to make sure that we get every capsule toy. And that's the whole point. Now these races, like I said before in previous streams, they're a way to get these workers to actually enjoy their job and have something to look forward to. It's a psychological way of making driving a forklift all day have a purpose. Because let's say you're working on a forklift all day, every day, and you don't have something to look forward to like this. What ends up happening is that you end up hating a forklift. You end up hating your job. You end up bored, and then you have a lot of employee turnaround. It's clever because since they have these forklift races, just think about the mentality of these racers. They work all day, but they think of, oh, what's the best route I can take for this crate? Oh, what's the fastest way I can move around with this crate so that when I race tomorrow, I'm going to really, really take home the 1st place capsule toy, right? There's that. There's those simple psychological effects that having these races on a daily basis would have on you. Plus, you just look forward to going faster and doing your job faster. Not only for the fact that you get a raise every day you meet your quota, but also the fact that you participate in these races. That just, it gives you bragging rights. And that's the whole intention with having these forklift races. It's not just a gimmick for the game. It's an actual true to life scenario. Not saying that they actually have forklift races anywhere where they have forklifts, but it's more of like a psychological thing to entice your employees to not only do their job and look forward to doing their job, but do their job faster. So it's like a double effect on all employees, which is kind of cool. It's definitely cool that they have this. And us as a gamer, we see it as nothing as, oh, we're going to do forklift racing. But as a gamer too, because a lot of this game doesn't have action, it's more like mystery and proceeding with the story, you almost need something to break up the mundane for yourself. Because since Yu Suzuki meant this to be a simulation of life, it's for you too to actually have something to look forward to. Yeah, I need more practice.
Thanks.
Do I sabotage anyone when going for? Nah, I do what I just did. I just stick behind one guy so that I don't mess it up.
Take this cargo to warehouse number 18.
All right, take this cargo to warehouse number
Today's quote is
18.
written on the map.
No problem.
Okay, get to it then.
All right, so we're gonna go to warehouse number 18. And I didn't look at the map completely, so I don't know where I'm at. I should have looked at the map, but I kind of get the layout of this place, so I know where I'm going and where I need to go. 18 is all the way over here. Okay, we'll do this easily. So, in the story right now, we've got to run into the Mad Angels, and he's starting to figure things out. But what do you think is going through Ryo's mind right now as he's doing this? As he's finding out more information about the Mad Angels, finding out more information about what's about to happen and who these people are that we're dealing with when it comes to the Chiyu Men and Lan Di. I think his head, of course, has a lot of maturing to do at this point, because the Mad Angels themselves are dangerous. He doesn't care. He just wants... Was it this way? I'm forgetting again. There they are, the crates. What? I'm being a little ridiculous. I should remember where these crates are, and I just came from here too. So his mentality right now is, when I find Lan Di, I'm gonna get revenge for my father's death. Does that make a lot of sense? Getting revenge for his father's death when he's learned absolutely nothing. And I mentioned this in previous streams before. He's a spoiled kid who has money, obviously. He's got a ton of money from his father, who just ran a dojo but got wealthy somehow, some way. His father got wealthy and earned a lot of return. Let me make sure I'm going the right way. Boom. Go through there. But definitely... Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was going away so that I don't miss a story element. So like I said, his father's had money, gave him everything he wanted. His mother passed away. I actually read in a recent article, just so that I can make sure that when I talk to you guys, I'm getting my information straight. His mother passed away when he was 3 years old. But what else do we know about Ryo's mom? If anything. Anything at all. What do we know about Ryo's mom? I have a strong feeling that Ryo's mom is Chinese. And I have a strong feeling that Ryo's mom knew Lan Di's dad, who was best friends with Iwao, which was Ryo's dad, and something happened between them where they must have fought over the mirrors. I honestly do believe that the mirrors belonged to not Iwao, but Lan Di's dad. And what happened there that caused that relationship to suffer probably had a lot to do with the death of Ryo's mom. And the revenge that Iwao took against Lan Di's dad is what led to his murder. And of course, he lost not only his wife, but he lost his best friend as well, because they were best friends. So he takes the mirrors, and then he leaves to Japan to raise his son alone. Somehow he makes money because the mirrors were connected to a treasure. We don't know what this treasure was, but the mirrors were connected to a treasure that had Ryo, known about it, he would have already probably taken advantage of it. But this treasure that Iwao had was enough to start up his own dojo, to pretty much get the best house in Yokosuka. like the top of the hill best house, get his own dojo to train his son, to train Fukusan on martial arts, to have Ine-san be paid and Ine-san take care of the family. Not only that, but to have Ine-san to have enough funds so that after he passes, which was probably in his will, continue to give money to Rio. Like, money is all over the Hazuki residence. And I don't believe that Rio values it as much as he should. He's more focused on revenge, and he's not really taking responsibility for anything that happens around him. He doesn't go to school. He doesn't, talk to his friends much after it happened. He's just like, no, I'm fine. It's okay. Nozomi's obviously worried. He's like, no, it's okay. Nothing's wrong. I'll be okay. It's not dangerous. Like, he's disconnected because he's so focused on what he wants to do that he basically gave up about caring about anything. And this game, Shenmue, at least in the story that we've experienced so far, Rio was trying to buy a plane ticket to go to Hong Kong. Why? Because he believes that Lan Di left for Hong Kong and that he's just gone. So he wants to just go to a random country by himself without knowing anything about Hong Kong or China. He wants to just go there and get to Lan Di and fight him and probably die. So that is really, really uneducated, really, really immature of Rio. Obviously, you gotta understand what he went through, and basically, he feels, and he said it earlier in this game, like he has no family. So, is he going through a bit of depression? You better believe he is. Rio's really lost and disconnected from... Okay, you are totally in my way. Can you, thank you. Rio's completely disconnected from anybody who potentially cares about him because he feels like he's got no family. And that's what's important. So that last message that Iwao left to Rio was keep friends close. Keep friends and those you love close to you. But in the beginning of this saga, has he done any of that? He used Fukusan to get money from him. He pretty much calls him idiot anytime Fukusan does something out of just being naive. He doesn't tell Ine-san the truth. He lies to her at first. He completely hides the truth from Nozomi. Like, what is up with it? The only person who he's close to is Tom.
Let me take a picture of you two.
No, that's okay.
Don't be shy. Stand there. Here we go. Both of you get in closer. Smile. That's it. Here goes. Which do you want? Yo?
Now, Rio being Rio, realistically, would choose the one that's disconnected. The one to the left.
Oh, this one.
Okay, this one's yours, and this one's Nozomi's.
But she'll like it because they're close.
They're keepsakes.
So I believe that choice is canon.
I'm going to Canada.
What?
I took a while to decide, but...
Hey, if it's what you've decided, it's what you've decided.
Rio, don't do anything stupid.
Of course I won't.
I'll always treasure this. Rio, take care of yours too.
I will.
I'll come back when I'm on vacation.
Sure.
Goodbye then, Rio.
Nozomi.
There was a hint of her crying. To me, this scene was amazing because right before she walked away, there was a slight hint of emotion, of sadness, because she was saying goodbye to Rio, potentially forever, because she's moving to Canada, of all places. Canada. And the fact that they could show emotion in this game. Again, I mentioned this a bunch of times. This game was developed in the late 90s, mid to late 90s, released in Japan in the late 90s, and in the US in November of 2000, so 20 years ago. And it showed facial emotion. When you had games that came out just a year or two before, like Metal Gear Solid, that had nothing but potato heads just shaking around, this game had characters moving their lips, but also showing facial emotions. And that was something that was considered groundbreaking at the time, just to have that type of interaction with different characters, which was next level. Alright, so from a story perspective, what just happened? What just happened? Nozomi is leaving to Canada. And Rio, like we said, like we were just talking about, he's not in the mindset of caring about anything. He's just so focused on revenge that it just, he's like, you could tell he had a little bit of like, oh snap, I didn't even notice that you're leaving to Canada. Like, I'm finding this out now. Okay, I'll cherish the picture, right? But at the same time, it's like as soon as she walks away, it's like, bye-bye. Still focused on the mission at hand. And he's completely ignoring what his father asked.
Excuse me. Ask me again some other time.
Again, I'm looking for some sort of interaction, some sort of clue, potentially, for the Mad Angels
Rio.
that they hang out
Have
with
you ever
during the
seen
day.
any of the Mad Angels?
Mad? Well, I don't think I've ever seen them. Sorry, I have no idea.
I see.
I see. So again, we're not getting anywhere with the Mad Angels, especially in the middle of the day. But it makes sense, right? Like, from a story perspective, why would a gang come out in the middle of the day to, like, meet up with, like, the people or to haggle people? They're not going to do that. They'll probably be more inclined to come out at
yes.
night when it's
Have you
when it's
seen
their
the
time
Mad
to come out.
Angels?
The Mad Angels? I've never seen them, but I've heard that they hang out at the entrance of the harbor.
I see.
I see. That's the second time he said entrance of the harbor. So I would think that's a clue, but it's not something that Rio writes down. It's like, okay, this is the entrance of the harbor.
I'll miss the afternoon shift if I leave now.
But he won't even go to that little small parking lot, because it's like, okay, they hang out at this entrance, but where? And I think it's around here that they hang out. I'm gonna go to the tomato store and see if I could win a prize, since I haven't won a prize since that first time. And then probably play darts, because again, I don't think the story is progressing until later on at night. Let's see what prize we can get.
I'll take this, please.
Yeah, sure.
I try not to
Thank you
talk to
very
her.
much.
She's pretty loud and too flirtatious. So I'll keep my
Sure,
distance.
Draw a raffle ticket.
Don't need to flirt with her. And did I win anything?
5th prize?
5th prize.
Here's your prize. Open it up and take a look.
Okay, a capsule toy. Hang on. Actually, that's not bad. I actually like that capsule toy. Let's try this. Now, the thing is, I have bought so many potato chips. I'm probably going to buy something else. No, I'm not going to. Can I buy any of that? I didn't think so. It's like, okay, can I buy milk? Stop. I probably could buy milk, but I'll buy chocolate. 120 yen. Buy.
I'll take this.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.
I think I could win a stereo system or something if I win a higher prize, but
Sure, draw a
the
raffle ticket.
odds of winning anything off of raffles are just next to nothing.
No win.
No win.
No prize, eh?
Alright. No prize. Now don't talk to me. I'm upset. You took my money. Let's do Neo Darts
One game, 100 yen.
before we have to go back to work.
Maybe I'll play it a bit.
So it's also interesting and a weird dichotomy because you've got Rio who's on this revenge quest. He's ignoring his friends. He's not really paying attention to anyone.
It's already this.
I can't even play. Gotta go back to work. He's not paying attention to
Warehouse number
anyone.
18. Okay.
But he gets the time to play video games, play darts, do kind of mundane activities. So what does that mean? Does that have any meaning besides the fact that the developer threw it in there so we have different mini games to play, like Grand Theft Auto and whatever? I actually do believe that it has a deeper meaning other than just extra mini games in a video game of Shenmue. I don't believe that Shenmue was... I mean, it's meant to be fun, obviously, but it was also meant to be... to take you out of the world that we live in today and really put you in a story that is its own story, but what would happen if this story were happening in real life? It's kind of like the concept of 24, if you've ever heard of that series, where it's like real time passes as that series goes through. But before 24 had that idea. So it's still a clock running, it's still everything, but it's a story that you're progressing. And what would it be like if we actually lived a story and not just play through the important sections of it? Which means, yeah, you get events that happen, but there's also a lot of time where nothing happens in this person's life and you just play through it. So the fact that he plays video games is just there to show you, video games and like other side quests like collecting capsule toys and whatnot, it's there to show you that Rio is a person. Rio has interests, and it's meant to show you that Rio likes video games. Rio's a gamer. Rio likes little collectibles, little capsule toys. Rio likes this stuff. Rio likes to play games because it's there to remind you that he may be on this revenge quest, but... And Rio, yeah, Rio's 18. But he's just a kid. He was still in high school. And it didn't seem that he finished school at all because of this revenge quest. He's just out for doing what it takes to put himself in danger because this guy's got a death wish after what happened to his father. But his character himself is trying to have a connection with being a young person as much as he can, even though he's doing these adult activities. So, adult activity that he's partaking in is getting a job. Adult activity is a murderous revenge quest. I don't think many kids consider that a fun time in the playground. But he's a kid. Kid activity, buying capsule toys. Kid activity, buying potato chips and soda in vending machines and markets. Kid activity, playing video games in the local arcade. So it's kind of like, it's two sides of Rio. It's a mature, growing up side because he's got a lot to learn, but also the fact that those games and everything there is to remind you we're not dealing with an adult here. We're dealing with a kid who's got a lot to learn. and especially a lot to learn in martial arts, which is something that he absorbs like a sponge. It's just something that he's into, being a martial artist, and he knows he's good. That's why he's a bit reckless and fearless, because he knows, at least for people in his neighborhood, nobody can mess with him because he's trained in the Hazuki style martial arts. But he's got to improve his kung fu, which is what he learns to do in future sequels. And I think that's the whole point of his adventure, at least when you start to expand beyond this location, is just, it's time to grow up. It's time to become a man and not this little boy that we experience in the first Shenmue, which we're still experiencing the adventures of this little kid driving a forklift truck, looking for forklift racing, and getting these guys out of their way by making them disappear completely, vanish. So I was actually going to break into a story that had to do with different cultures before I got sidetracked, because this game makes my brain sidetrack a million times. So I apologize if I start a story and never finish it, but it's kind of what happens when you're constantly moving around and the story's progressing and something else comes to mind. I got a couple of things that came to mind that I want to tell you guys. So first, it came with that cultural reference and why I was talking about cultures. I work for a Korean company as an adult. I do a lot of things, actually. I've got my own like video business, so and I've told you guys a lot of time in different occasions that I have like professional cinema cameras. I also have DSLR and mirrorless cameras that I use primarily for video for like customers, stuff like that. But I also have another job. I'm actually a credit manager, a financial analyst for a very large tech company, and I've been working there for many years, and it's Korean owned. So because of that, I have pretty much embraced the Korean culture, so much so that I just know so much about it. And I've been to Seoul, Korea a couple of times in my life, which was just a really fun experience. And one of my favorite drinks is called soju. Soju is a rice wine-ish type of drink. It's compared a lot with sake, but which is like a Japanese harsh drink. But soju cools down so smoothly. You drink it in shot glasses. So you have small shots of soju. They're usually in green bottles, and they are very potent, very strong, and so good. And all of the different cultural ways that you can drink soju, not just having the drink, but knowing what to do when you're around people, and knowing that if you see someone else with an empty shot, you pour them a little bit extra soju, because you never fill your own glass. You always fill the shot glass of those around you. And forget about it. You better call Uber, because you're not driving home that if you do that. But it's fun. But noticing those different cultural differences is something that I enjoy, and it's something that Shenmue actually teaches you, which is really interesting, and one of the things I like about the franchise. As we continue to work, it's 4 p.m. now. We haven't run into the Mad Angels all day. We've taken different treks, different paths to deliver these crates. No run-ins with the Mad Angels, no surprise attacks, and we've already run into the Mad Angels 7, 8, 9 times. And the Mad Angels themselves, looks like they're not messing with Rio at this point. Every time we run into the Mad Angels, we made short work of them. And I'm sure they're probably pretty pissed off at Rio that he keeps doing that. But what do you expect? You gotta... That gang doesn't seem to be much work for Rio Hazuki. And that's kind of like the interesting part of that of the story too. Is just like it's so easy for him to just make short work of those characters. Alright, now I'm going to talk about a real interesting feat that this game did when it was first released for the Dreamcast, that the developers were trying to really push and really show that, okay, this is one of the most, if not the most impressive game you've ever seen. Because when it was touted in video game websites and in magazines, the graphics that this game had were really like next gen graphics, like really like, holy smoke, these graphics are insane. But you look at it now, it may not be even close to what we're able to experience today. However, Shenmue holds up pretty well from a graphical comparison to a lot of games that came out in that era. A lot of games that came out in the 90s, you look at it now, and especially if it's 3D based, you're like, what am I looking at? It looks so pixelated and messy. But you look at Shenmue, sure, this is an up-converted HD version, but if you actually play the standard version, it doesn't look much different than this at all. And one of the things that the developers really thought was important were faces for their characters. Now, the Dreamcast version came with a passport disc that had a lot of like information from all the non-playable characters in the game, but it also had like this like face mode where you can see highly rendered, highly detailed faces of the main cast as they talk through certain you know, like help dialogue that helps you play the game of Shenmue and understand what Shenmue is. This, and if you were able to, if you could like look it up in YouTube, I'm sure like the passport disc, like characters, whatever. If you look at those faces and those animations that they had on the Dreamcast, old system that's still beloved till this day, you'd think that they were at least PS2 or damn near PlayStation 3 graphics for their facial, for their facial movements. And that's what was able to be accomplished back then. And then as you play the game, the developers themselves made it a point to make every single face in this game try to be as distinct and unique as possible, with a lot of facial features, though they don't have a high polygon count, at least for the non-playable characters that don't really matter much. They're still distinct in their own right. Like, look at Rio's face. It's very detailed. You could recognize it. It may be a little bit blurry, but easy to recognize. Look at this guy. All the details in his face. You cannot recognize him.
Thanks.
You met quota, son. So starting tomorrow, you'll get a 50 yen raise.
Another raise.
That'll be 500 yen per crate.
Thank you.
500
Keep
yen.
up the good work.
Yes, thank you very much.
We accomplished another day. No run-ins with the Mad Angels at all. So we've got pretty much the afternoon and nighttime to find the Mad Angels. Rio at this point has been walking. Let's see if we ask.
What's brewing, bro?
Have you seen any of the Mad Angels around?
Whoa, bro! Like I said, don't say that name out loud!
You know, right? Tell me.
Ah, bro! Well, I ain't got no choice, I guess. Motorcycles, they ride around the harbor at night.
At night, huh?
Now we got the clue. They gather at night in motorcycles. So that means that we've got to find the Mad Angels at night. Now, why he didn't tell me before, maybe he cared, maybe he was concerned. So let's ask him if we know anything.
Yeah. What is it, youngin'?
Do you happen to know where the Mad Angels hang out?
Why are you looking for them? I hear you've been getting yourself in all sorts of trouble.
I really need to know where they are. If you know, please tell me.
All right already. Come back here at night.
Here?
They always gather around here at night.
At night. I understand. Thank you.
Don't go doing nothing reckless, you hear?
So now we know exactly where they gather at night, which I assume is at 7 p.m. So at this point, let's go back in Tomato Shop and play the darts game we were trying to play before. So we've got the clues, we know where they'll be, but what does Rio want to accomplish? Getting at them. He wants to follow them. He wants
100 yen.
to follow them to Landi and see what'll happen.
Maybe I'll play it a bit.
But that's his adult side, but let's be a kid. And sure, we're going to get into a potential gang fight tonight, but what better thing to do before their potential gang fight than to play darts? It's like, what is your intention, kid?
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best at this darts game. Oof.
Yeah.
Trying to get close to that 100.
Hey, not too bad.
Not too bad.
I'm
Oof.
getting it. This is it.
This is it.
I'm
Ooh,
getting it.
was that 100? Probably not. Yeah.
Whoa, the high score. Game over.
Game over. He's so depressed after he gets game over. Now we're gonna play traditional darts.
Darts.
I'm a little
One
bit
game,
I'm a little
100
bit
yen.
better at the old not so tech looking
I'll give it a
darts,
try.
neo darts. Look at how much money he's got, 42,000 yen. He only needs a little bit more, probably 30,000 more, and then he could buy that boat ticket that he wanted to buy. Here we go.
All right.
Bullseye. I don't rush this.
No good.
No good. One. I killed all that time for one.
No good.
No good.
So close.
So close. This is
The
it.
last dart.
Nope. So tricky. You never know where he'll... Aw, damn, no.
So close.
It's not where I wanted to move, but why not? Not a bad score.
I get to play again.
Oh, I get to play again. Keep it going. I'm gonna get into a gang
Alright.
fight later. So I get to play again. Until it happens. We're about a half an hour away from that meeting the Mad Angels.
All right.
Phew. Nope. Not gonna do it that way.
I'm getting it.
Close enough. Oh, I probably could have shot it there. Nope. Come on, Rio. Give me a fighting chance.
No good.
No good. He kept on moving his hand too wide.
This is it.
Nope.
No good. So this is the last free game.
So this is the last free game. It's interesting to hear Corey
So
Marshall's
close.
voice. Just talk through these lines. Another 20.
Hey, not too bad.
Nope.
I'm getting it.
Close, but no cigar there. Will we get over 400? Yes.
Not bad.
Over 400. We're not going to get 500, obviously.
Last one.
Last one. Oh, I probably could have potentially done a good shot there. Just another 20. That's fine. I just ate up those 20 points. Oh, I did get over 500. Well, what do you know?
Whoa, the high score. No more darts.
No more darts.
Maybe next time.
It's time to get into a fight with the Mad Angels. I keep sometimes calling them the Mad Gear. If you've ever played Final Fight, the gang that you fight in Final Fight is called the Mad Gear. But then these are... Whoa. That was creepy. I actually thought they were about to walk in like, hey! Because Rio suddenly stopped and it was like... Wah. So it's nighttime, and it's action time.
Long time no see. This the guy who's been sniffing around us like a dog?
Looks like we're gonna have to run this stray off now.
I'm gonna get him.
Let's get these guys.
I'll give you pain. Oh shit!
QTEs. Oh, I went the wrong way. Damn it.
No, I lost them.
I thought I was going the right way. Well, let me do it again, or do I have to wait another day? Nah, let me do it again.
Long time no see. This the guy who's been sniffing around us like a dog?
Looks like we're gonna have to run this stray off now.
I'm gonna get him.
Let's get him. Let's do this right this time. We need to find out more information. And that's why he's going after him. He's not going to just beat him up and not say anything.
I'll give you pain. Oh shit! Now!
Here we go.
Smooth move. You ain't so bad, punk. Why you? But your time's up. You
What?
wish.
Uh-oh.
No one takes on the Mad Angels in this harbor and lives to tell about it. It's the bottom of the sea for you. Get him.
Here we go again. Rio, not afraid to fight. Again, I build up that that elbow assault to death. So you notice I just do it once and everyone's just
Little brat, I'm gonna break
down.
your face.
Come on!
Here we go. I like these one-on-one encounters because it makes you really feel like you're playing Virtua Fighter, which is a classic Sega game.
How are the Mad Angels and Chi Ming connected?
I don't know.
What?
Wait! I don't know if he's human, but there's some Chinese big shot leaving here soon.
Big shot?
Yeah, they had me arrange a cruiser to take him out to a big ship offshore.
What's his name?
I don't know, but I hear he wears some silk robe thing with a dragon on it.
Lan Di. He's still around here.
Please, I beg you, don't tell anyone I told you. They'll kill me!
Again, I would have asked, where is he? What's going on? I need more information. Something. But he's just kind of like, he just like, D, he's here. Still here. And then walks away. That, and again, I believe it's just his inexperience, how excited he gets when he does all of this stuff. Just a bunch of things rolled into one. But looks like we've got pretty far. This time we realized that maybe we should follow the Mad Angels and get a little bit more information from them. Because they were getting fed up with Rio every time he was beating them up in like previous episodes, which you could watch on my Twitch channel or Personal Magnus on YouTube. But he was getting nowhere. He was just getting into fights, agitating them. But now Rio, for the first time, realized maybe I shouldn't just waste them all. Maybe I should actually go a little deeper than that and dig deeper into getting more information. And he did. Lan Di. This whole time we're thinking we gotta go to China. He's actually still in Japan. And we need to find out more information. But before that, you need to go home. And like I said, I trained that elbow assault, and that was the reason that I trained it all those days. And like at night, I would just train the elbow assault, get it as strong as I can. Because if I can get one move strong, that's the move I want. And you saw how easy it was to pretty much waste that big group of Mad Angels gang members. But Santa still walks the streets at night. Santa is straight up trouble. Santa I mean, usually if you're a Santa Claus, you're there because you're, taking pictures with kids or collecting donations. But no, this Santa is 9 p.m. No one's on the streets. I think she's drunk. No one's on the streets. Hi, Nozomi. No one's on the streets, and he's just straight up pimp walking. I don't know. Maybe he has a girlfriend or something that he's seeing at night. Who knows? But Santa does his thing. You gotta give it to Santa. He does his thing, And it's around that time. It's around that season. It's pretty cool that because it's December 22nd, 3 days from Christmas, Rio hasn't even gotten any of his friends' Christmas gifts or anything. He's probably gonna give them capsule toys or something. But in any case, it's still pretty interesting, the fact that he's so like only conscious about what his goal is and what he needs. It hasn't snowed that much in this part of the game. Now one would think, like, why not, you know, if we've got the effects to have snow. But like I've mentioned before, it actually matches the weather of this period in Japan back in the 1980s. So we've made it to Ryo's mansion. I keep teasing him about that, but seriously, he's got a lot of money, and we fought the Mad Angels. We had a pretty good experience with them in getting more information. Gonna train my hand move again, elbow assault. It's really peaking there. Again, training a little bit more, one more to the elbow assault without going too crazy. And then we're going to save, because today's episode is done. And when we continue tomorrow, we will continue this story to potentially find out, or maybe even find, Lan Di. So it was definitely fun hanging out with you guys once again. Join me tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/personalmagnus. I'll upload this to my YouTube channel as well, so you can catch either of them afterwards. And thank you so much for the new followers that I got, for all the existing followers. This is so much fun. I feel like I'm playing with like a group of friends, and it's so cool. And I could just like talk and like play the game, because there's one thing in playing the game, and Shenmue is really a game that you play by yourself, but it's another to actually express what you think and what you feel while you're playing a game that you love so much. It's a totally new and different experience for me, and I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying it. But definitely consider following me or subscribing, depending on what source you're watching it, and catch me tomorrow. I hope you guys join me as well, because I definitely appreciate all the time you spent with me tonight. Thank you. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.